happy Tuesday and welcome back to my channel. I had a long weekend this last weekend, which was great because I ended up catching a cold and staying in bed most of the time, so having that extra Monday off for President's Day ended up being wonderful because I just kind of stayed in bed and did nothing and rested and recovered, and I'm feeling better now, so I'm heading over to my internship. I don't know if I'll really have anything to show you from my internship just because of the whole like me working for a company not wanting to share their secrets kind of thing, but I will definitely see you after because I have some fun things planned relating to my thesis project. So let's have a good day and I'll see you after. Hello again, it's been a full day of interning. I spent most of the day just like cutting fabric samples for the upcoming collection and assembling them into like a presentation, and yeah, overall it was a good day. I'm now heading home and my plan for the evening is to card and spin some fun yarn. Last week I made some in like a red color with some silk blended in, and I want to do something kind of similar today but then spin it up into a really fun super coily art yarn. So let's do it.
I wanted this yarn to be shiny and chunky and textural and bright blue, so I carded up a whole bunch of fibers that I dyed with acid dyes last week. I included some silk noil, some mulberry silk, which is just so soft and so shiny, and some prepared roving, which is a blend of silk and merino wool. I'll put links to all of the supplies that I'm using in this video's description if you want to check them out. To make this bat, I took little pinchfuls of each fiber and kind of painted them onto the larger drum. I'm not really sure what this kind of application is called or if it even really has a name, but it's been my favorite way to blend fibers lately because it blends things together but not too much, which keeps things really fun and textural. My goal with hand making these yarns is to create the weft that I'm going to weave with for my thesis project. And my overall theme for my project is about celebrating age-old artisan techniques in our modern digital age. So I want these yarns to look unmistakably handmade. I want them to be lumpy and bumpy and imperfect, and to celebrate the natural materials that went into them, like these beautiful silks. But in contrast, I'm using all of these modern, unmistakably synthetic colors like this fluorescent black light blue. And I'm also using kind of unconventional art yarn spinning techniques, which you'll see in a little bit. My ultimate goal for this project is to create pieces that look like they're both natural and unnatural, like they're from another world. So you'll definitely see that reflected in pretty much everything I'm making this semester. To spin this yarn, I'm first using a core spinning technique, which basically means that I'm wrapping the fibers around a core yarn, which in this case is a simple cotton. And then I turned this into a super coiled yarn by plying my core spun yarn with the simple cotton yarn and then scrunching it up as I go. This basically just compresses everything, giving it a really funky 3D effect that I just adore, and it's so much fun to weave with.
Happy Wednesday. I just finished up on my internship. It's like the end of the day, but I just wanted to check in and say hi. I'm actually going to a really fun event tonight. I'm meeting up with Ryan. We're going to the Alamo Draft House and we're gonna go watch Twilight, which I'm just like beyond excited for. I think I was in like the 6th or 7th grade when the Twilight series books were really big, so of course they played a massive role in my like middle school experience. Loved them to death. Went to every single movie premiere with all my friends. We had an amazing time. So that series is just like extremely sentimental to me. I know it's awful, I know it's ridiculous, but that's honestly exactly why I love it. Are any of you guys Twilight fans? Let me know. Are you Team Edward or Team Jacob? I am definitely Team Edward. So yeah, let's go. Good morning, happy Thursday. I'm heading over to my painting on fabrics class this morning, which is a class that I've been really loving this semester. I think today we're just going to continue some of our painting on silk explorations, which I'm really looking forward to. Afterwards, I have my portfolio class where I'm think gonna just try to figure out some weave structures for my thesis project, and hopefully that'll be fun too. So let's get the day going.
Last week, you saw me make a bunch of samples using silk paints with wax resists, and this week, we're starting things off by steaming those samples. Then we had the entire class period to play around and explore. I got this silk scarf secondhand from another professor of mine, so I thought it might be fun to spend the day making myself a cute little floral accessory. Using melted wax and a jaunting needle, I painted some very simple flowers all over the scarf. Using silk dyes thickened with sodium alginate, I very loosely painted in the flowers. My goal with this project was just to have fun. This is the only class that I'm taking this semester that has absolutely nothing to do with my thesis, so it was my chance to learn something new and explore a new skill in a really low pressure kind of way. Using some blue and yellow silk paints, I created a watercolory kind of background for my yellow flowers. Once that was dry, I splattered some hot wax all over the scarf. Then I went in with a deep purple color and repainted the whole background so that everything under the splattered wax stays the original colors and the rest is much darker. Next week, we'll steam this scarf to get rid of all the wax and see how it turned out. But so far, I love it. In my next class, I played around on our weaving software called Pointcarré to try to figure out what the first woven samples of my thesis project might look like. Since this is the first sample of my whole project, and it'll be my first time using my new loom, and I have all these absolutely crazy handspun weft yarns, I wanted to keep the weave structure somewhat simple. So I created this design with a striped warp, a herringbone pattern, and a bright blue stripe using my chunky coiled yarn. And I think it's gonna be pretty fun.
Hello, I'm back in my apartment after my classes, and I want to dye some stuff. In particular, I want to dye this silk noil that I got and this mulberry silk that I got from the Woolery, and make pretty much like a little pinch of each one of these in each one of my colors, just so I have things to pull from when I want to make some art bats. So let's do it.
I started by weighing out equal amounts of each kind of silk. And then I put them in kind of a double boiler situation on my stovetop. I then put a few tablespoons of my acid dye stock solution in each jar. And voila! Hand-dyed silks ready to be a part of my next art yarns.
Good morning, happy Friday. I'm heading over to my portfolio class this morning where I'm pretty much just gonna continue doing computer work most likely, so it's not gonna be the most interesting, but I do have plans this afternoon and this weekend to continue dyeing and carding, so yeah, let's get through this class and then let's do some fun things.
I spent most of the day playing around on Photoshop and trying to turn all of those crazy paintings from the past few weeks into some kind of a repeating design. Are these perfect? No, but it's at least a start. Then, back at home, I decided that I wanted to spin a few more yarns. Firstly, I wanted to use up the rest of that art bat that we made earlier on in the video, but instead of making a super fancy coiled art yarn, I just wanted to spin something simple. Then I dug through my stash and I found a whole bunch of reddish brown wool scraps, which I thought might be fun to blend together with some of my newly dyed silks to make kind of an earthy, tweedy brown yarn. So first, I carded all of those brown fibers and silks together very similarly to how I made the blue bat earlier on in the video. Then I took each bat and I spun them into a super textural single ply yarn. My last activity of the week was finally threading my loom. This is my brand new Ashford 16 harness table loom, and I'm threading it with the white wool silk warp that I made last week. After several hours of threading, my loom was finally ready to weave. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I know this video was kind of all over the place, but I hope it was still fun to tag along. If you'd like to see how all my projects turn out, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye!